So, Namaskar and good afternoon to all. It's truly a wonderful occasion, though we are small in number here. But I truly appreciate being invited for the consultation in Delhi regarding the Federation of the Earth, the constitution that has been developed over the past several decades. I'm Dr. A.K. Merchant, a social worker, independent researcher, writer, and I'm a member of the Baha'i community of India for the last more than 51 years. And for me, the topic of an emerging world government, a world parliament, a world legislative body is all integral as part of our belief system. Because the Baha'is worldwide, more than 8 million, truly believe that this is what the earth needs if civilization has to march forward. And the way it will happen is on the basis of the interface between the two systems of knowledge. The one system of knowledge we call dharma or religion, which gives us our ethical, moral foundations. And the other is the system of knowledge called science, which gives us our technology. So for last several centuries, humanity has advanced. And one thing that is very noticeable is the speed of communication. As the speed of communication, both in terms of uh, communicating with each other, travel with from one place to another, and information sharing and the knowledge sharing, all of that has made our planet a global village. But it is high time that the peoples of the earth who have been deprived of accepting this as a global village are able to come together and lobby and force the biggest obstacle in achieving a world government and a world parliament, that is national sovereignty. When we speak about unity and diversity, even in India, when you talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, let us not shy away from the reality that surrounds us. There are huge inequalities on the grounds of religion, on the grounds of economic sharing of the finite resources of the planet, on the grounds of culture, on the grounds of our belief system, and the way identity also that has been put up, the barriers of identities, has prevented humanity from accepting themselves as human beings. I mean, our one big identity is that we are human beings, and all of us require food, clothing, shelter, education, knowledge for earning a living, uh, all kinds of other basic requirements. But today, in a global GDP of $115 trillion, we have, on the other hand, a debt, a global debt, running into $130 trillion. United States of America, with its GDP of $29 trillion, has a debt of $32 trillion. To just give you an example, we had recently the visit, a very important and historic visit of Honorable President Vladimir Putin, a country that's about 6 times the size of India geographically, whose GDP is half of that of India, and yet it's a country that can be the happiest country of the world. It has no shortage of its energy requirements, food requirements. Its educational infrastructure is very good. It has all the resources that it requires, but there are countries that do not allow it to live in peace. So the geopolitical realities truly do not allow us to move ahead with our agenda the way so beautifully Dr. Glenn Martin has just illustrated. It's my misfortune that I could not participate in the Pondicherry consultation or the conference you had, but I'm glad to be part of the Delhi consultation. And I truly believe that ultimately the Earth Federation's objectives and its laudable initiative and the work will be accepted by all of humanity. But it will happen after tremendous amount of destruction, turmoil, suffering, and pain, because the leadership of the planet whether it be secular or religious, are not interested to ensure the well-being and welfare of the larger multitudes of humankind, because they have vested interests and they have their very selfish agendas. And so naturally, we as ordinary citizens, we can keep striving, because at the end of the day, what kind of resources do you dispose of? If you have resources, you can expand, mobilize, win more and more people to your side. But if your resources are very limited, then obviously you will be dependent on corporates, you'll be dependent on philanthropists, you'll be dependent on people who all have the agendas. And unless and until they get enough limelight and publicity, they won't part with any of their resources to help you. This is another reality which we cannot ignore. So, two important things that emerge. One is the question of national sovereignties. Today, you can see the United States Nations Organization of the world, the largest civil service organization, how it is being shredded and it is being strangulated. And the other big obstacle is the identity. I consider myself as a human being, and I consider myself nothing more than that. For the sake of travel to other countries, I do need a passport. So my nationality is Indian. If I don't have a passport, I cannot travel. So these are my only two identities that matter to me. All other identities are irrelevant, and unless and until we consider ourselves as citizens of the world, we cannot move forward. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is but one family, was a concept given by our ancient sages, and they used the analogy of family because it was understood. But today, family, the whole world as one family, does not take any meaning. So our honorable Prime Minister restated that and said one planet, one family, one future. But if you are a citizen of the world, then you have to transcend the boundaries. Thermonuclear warfare is my hobby subject, so I would be very interested to have a dialogue. I've also worked in the area of solar energy. There was a company used to provide lanterns to the villages so that the children could study after sunset and things like that. They are all very interesting. But at the end of the day, how much of resources does the framers of the Constitution for the Federation of the Earth possess? And what kind of large audience have you been able to win to your side in this global population of 8 billion plus? When the United Nations itself, which is such a worldwide body, is not capable of ensuring the peace and welfare of the vast multitudes of humankind, then we, a smaller organization, well meaning, committed, but to what extent? If our resources only help us to have a few meetings from time to time, get people of goodwill on our side, but we don't have that leveraging. So, on the other hand, the Baha'i community has been slowly and imperceptibly and unobtrusively working to create a model. So today we have a geographic spread of 22,000 clusters, and each of these clusters, our focus is family devotional gatherings, ensuring the children's classes so that they have the moral and ethical foundation, ensuring that the junior youth, the teenagers who are being bombarded by images and technology, they have right opportunity to do their career choices, and then empowering the youth to leverage the technological advances for the good of humanity rather than building a career which is materialistic.
Well, thank you, Jack.
And the last part is study circles, where the adults are invited to appreciate the interface of science and religion, because both have to have a harmonious relationship if humanity has to advance.
Very good.
And all the spiritual leaders you can see today in this room, every conceivable spiritual leader's picture or portrait displayed here. Each one has contributed in their own ways, but
Thank you.
Earth is but one country, humankind is citizens, and the principle of justice should be the ruling principle for ensuring the fulfillment of our laudable objectives.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.